Welcome in to the Bitcoin Crypto Weekly Close. I am the Crypto Bull God. If you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel. I gotta say, this software is a little glitchy for when I go live. There's always a few seconds when I'm actually live when I don't think I'm live. Now, I just want to start off by saying this. Things are going to get better. One thing I can promise you is things are going to get better. Things are so abysmal right now. They're so, it's really rough out there. You know, I'm excited to come out here every Sunday and do these weekly closes with you. You know, and a lot of times, what's up, Brendan? Glad to have you here, brother. I got the button working, as you can hear. You know, and Sundays now we're in football season. What's up, Bank Run? Glad to see you, brother. You know, it's football season. It's NFL football season. And I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan, right? So I'm watching football all day. But I'm looking forward to doing these live streams. And as the day goes on, as the day starts off, I'm seeing Bitcoin above 20,000. And I'm like, all right. So we're going to have a little bit of positivity here. $20,000 is a psychological level. I'm seeing things in the green. And then all of a sudden I get home from my workout and shit is taking a shit. So, you know, it happens. It'll happen. So what we're going to do though, is, you know, consistent with what I've done in the prior weeks here. We're going to take a look at a couple key charts here. I'm going to update you in terms of what my thought process is of what's going on from a macro perspective. We're also going to take a look at perhaps a few charts that we haven't taken a look at in these Bitcoin Crypto Weekly closes. And then I'm going to open it up to you guys, as I always do, for the TA Q&A. But I got to tell you, this is not, did you see my tweet out here? Prepared to go live. Thank you, crypto gods, for blessing CBG with a bloody end to the week. 1,000 blessings upon thee. Yes, this makes my job a lot easier when I come out here and speak about the markets when everything's taking a shit. Doesn't make it easy, right? It'll be a lot more fun when I can come on here and we're like, yeah, Bitcoin's above 30,000 and shit's running. It's going to be a lot more exciting, you know? Crypto Bull God will come out in full form and dress up as the Macho Man Randy Savage and do another promo, but we're not at that point yet. So let's get into things here. So we just closed our weekly candlestick at 19,400. Not a lot has changed. Let's look at the price data first, okay? Really, and this is the hard thing as a content creator. I'm going to come on here and I'm going to genuinely share with you what I see in the charts. But if there's nothing that is materialistically, if there's nothing that is materially changing in the chart, it's really hard to give you anything of substance to catch your attention, right? So I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you what's going on here. And if there isn't anything material to share with you, I'm just going to kind of move on. We are consolidating under the 200 SMA. Again, nothing has changed, okay? This was our weekly close last week, okay? This one right here. And now we had this one, okay? So we went straight up last week only to come straight down this week, okay? It's literally just chop. That's all that's going on right now. It's just boring. This kind of price action is what weeds people out of the market. You have to understand that. So what you need to do, and I preach this consistently on this channel. Let me get these little house sandals off, house slippers. What I consistently preach on this channel is that you really need to remain unemotional with what's going on in the charts, because that will help you from preventing, it'll help to prevent you from getting weeded out, okay? The big thing that I want you to keep in mind, now the reason, by the way, if you've been here before, these historic returns here I've marked in the past. This is when we had a bottoming candle where the 200 SMA was at on the weekly chart, and then where we topped out, you can see a 336% return from the 200 SMA. Where we bottomed out on the weekly at the 200 SMA, we rose up 1,080%. I took a midpoint here and took a time frame on the longer end of the spectrum. That's what's being measured out here. Okay, you can see the midpoint takes us up to about 180,000. Okay, I'm not saying we're going to hit 180,000, but looking at the past in terms of what sort of returns we've seen when we've seen a weekly candle bottom at the 200 SMA, this is what has happened in the past. So this is not out of the realm of possibility that by mid to mid-late next year, we could see Bitcoin at $180,000 topping out. That's not out of the question. But for the time being, let's not pay attention to that. Really what I want to pay attention to is this 200 SMA. And really, what is concerning to me is that price action continues to stay under here. We only temporarily got above it. We really need to start pushing up here above $24,000. The 200 SMA is at $23,400. We need to start pushing up towards $24,000 and stay above $24,000. The more we stay below here, nothing has changed since last week. The more we stay below the 200 SMA, the more likely it is that we're going to continue going lower, okay? Because now that we've broken below a moving average, it acts as resistance. We can't get above it, right? Once we're above a moving average, it acts as support, and we can continue moving up, right? But we're below the moving average, so it's not good to see. I need to see us get above 24,000. The other thing, what's up, Chris Dominator, Mr. Toos in the house? I don't know who the hell you are, but I'm really loving the energy. We need a little bit of energy in this house. It's only me in this house, and I need a little bit of energy now and then. All right. You feel me? All right. So one of the things that I had put out on Twitter, let's see here. If you're not following me on Twitter at CryptoBullGod, oh, did you guys catch this? Just a little while ago, I said to say a prayer for me because I was about to embark on a journey of putting basically some Chinese furniture together. So it actually didn't go too bad. There was some bending of metal that took place. The screws just didn't want to fucking go in. So there was a little bit of bending of metal. There was a moderate amount of cursing going on. But at the end of the day, CBG did succeed. So let's move on here. But one of the things that I did, I can't find it now. I don't need to find it. But one of the things I commented on is I said, we need to get above 25,000. Really what we need to see to begin instilling some solid confidence within the market, for me, based on what I'm looking at, is I need to see Bitcoin get above and stay above 25,000. How did I come up with 25,000? It's very simplistic. This is the 12-hour chart. I'm not going to go into the historical significance. If you've been subscribed here, you guys know, okay? Here's what's going on. We have a low and a high here. Ever since we created this high at 25, what was it at? 25,200, okay? Let's just call it 25,000, just to round and be easy. 25,000, what have we done? Low, high, lower low, lower low. This high here is lower than here. What we need to do, very simplistically, we need to break up into this region here to create a higher high relative to here, okay? Then we would have a low, a high, a higher low, and a higher high, okay? So we need to break above our prior high after this correction, which is at 25,200 technically, but I'm just calling it 25,000. Once we start, let me draw a line here. Once we start breaking up above this $25,000 area here, okay? Price starts kind of getting here, and starts moving up. Now we can start to feel really bullish because we're breaking this high here and creating a new higher high, and we're building those basic building blocks of a bullish narrative, which are higher highs and higher lows. Thanks, Chris. No more trolling, brother. I appreciate the engagement. You can troll me as long as you're not being mean, all right? As long as no one in the comments is being mean, I really could give two fucks less what you say. I have a pretty thick skin, so I'm just happy to have you here, happy to have the engagement. Yeah, Ryan. Weekly close suck ass, all right? Sucked ass pretty hard. This is not what you wanted to see, but, This sideways chop, man, this sideways chop that's going on, this shit, I'm telling you, the market gets so stagnant and people get so emotional about it that it weeds people out. Again, this is why really what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to put an emphasis on the long-term vision and the investment strategy associated with a macro perspective so that you don't get weeded out. And this is why I've put a lot less emphasis on if a bottom is in, right? Yes, I'm in the camp. By the way, guys, hit the thumbs up button. I see a few people in here, and I'm only seeing a couple likes. So make sure you hit the thumbs up button for support. Drop me a comment. Let me know what charts you'd like to let me take a look at besides the ones I'm going to look at here. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel with notifications. Lately I've been going live twice a week, giving you free technical analysis. So I would really appreciate the support. It literally takes a millimotherfucking second to hit the thumbs up button. But where was I going with that? I was giving so much attention to the people who have come in here and not hit the thumbs up button that I forget what I was trying to say. I don't even know. Wow. All right. Wow. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Wow. All it took was a little bit. I know what I was going to say. So stick with me here. Stick with me. What I've been trying to do is, while I do feel that the bottom is in, I'm on record saying that, I'm trying to put less emphasis on that. And that's why I put out the video I put out looking at those 21 independent data points. Guys, as boring as some of this stuff might be, I'm trying to keep you in the game as an investor, okay? This channel has never been dedicated to the day trader. I'm not here to help you day trade things. That's not what this channel's about. What I'm doing is I'm trying to present information to you from my educated view to allow you to gain a perspective based on what I'm seeing as another educational resource to discern whether or not it's a good time to invest in cryptocurrencies, okay, and kind of where the market is at. And so what those 21 independent data sources did is they validated that it is a generational buy opportunity right now. Again, whether you're buying at 21, 23, 19, or 17,000, over the long term, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant if you're dollar cost averaging in at those levels, okay? You're going to make a substantial amount of return based on history, okay? That's not my emotion. That's just based on history in the charts, okay? So this is what I'm seeing on Bitcoin in the long and short term, and that's what I'd like to see play out here. Actually, before we get into dominance, let's look at Ethereum. Excuse me, Ethereum is nothing overly concerning here, although Ethereum is expressing more weakness than I would like to see. Now, what I have circled here, let's look at the price data. This is a low and a higher low, and now we have this high up here, right? We have a high right here, okay? So what we want to do is we want to move up and create another higher high, right? We have the two lower highs and the two higher two higher lows and the two higher highs. That's what we want to see, okay? Right now, there is a major area of price support around $1,300 to $1,400, right? And we've just closed below there, right? I'm not ready to turn this green area red just yet. I want to see how the next few days play out. We could move back up into here. But we really need to get back above around 1,400. We need to get back above 1,400 and break this critical area of around $1,700. Now, you can see a double top here. Hell, it doesn't take a genius to see that. I don't want to overcomplicate the charts here, but you could draw another area of resistance. It's like a band, right? One of the things I preach on this channel is I'm not in favor of drawing these exact price points, especially in such a volatile market within the charts. Instead, let's draw areas, right? This area here is a major area of resistance. It's around 1,700 to 1,790, okay? So right in that area is a major area of resistance. We need to break back above it. So nothing overly concerning within Ethereum, but there's more weakness being displayed than I'd like to see. Ultimately, again, the thing I want to communicate in these charts is you don't want this lower low to be taken out. This 880, ultimately what could happen, this is still bullish if this were to happen. We have a low here. We moved up and created a higher high. Maybe this low isn't our higher low. Maybe the higher low goes all the way down to here, all the way down to like 1,000 or 980. And then we create another higher high. I know that's not what you want to see. It's not what I want to see because I'd like the market. The reason I don't want to see that is because personally I'd like to see the markets appreciate in value sooner rather than later. Okay, I have my own financial goals. So I don't want to see this drag out longer than I'm anticipating. But that's still bullish in the grand picture of everything. And we have to be prepared for that. We have to be prepared for every different scenario. We have to be prepared for the scenario that this could bounce right now and go a lot higher. It could come down to 1,000 and create a higher low. We also have to be prepared for the probability that this lower low here at 880 could break and we could go lower down to 700 or 600. Do I think that's going to happen? No. But there's a probability for everything, so we have to be prepared for that. So again, Ethereum's expressing a little more weakness than I'd like to see, but nothing overly concerning. You can see ever since we broke this downward line of resistance here, okay, we've now back tested it. Now, I don't want RSI to go in here. We back tested, great, but now I want to continue moving up. So let's see what happens in the RSI. This is on the weekly again. So that's what I'm seeing on Ethereum. This is Bitcoin dominance. Guys, nothing has changed, okay? I have pointed out the descending triangle and bear flag here for months, okay? Nothing material has changed within this chart. There's nothing that surprised me. I have drawn an area of resistance around 44%. So I want to give you a scenario that could potentially happen. Price could wick all the way above this line and hit 44, around 44%, and close below here, and the bear flag is still valid, okay? It's still valid. There's a lot of volatility in the space. Again, remember, price wicks are an expression. Guys, price wicks within a candlestick are an expression of what? Volatility. So we could wick, we could wick all the way up here and close down here, and it'd be still a valid pattern. But this descending triangle / bear flag is still very valid. So there's nothing here that I haven't covered before that I still don't see as occurring most likely. So nothing material has changed here. In fact, I've drawn out what I hypothesized would occur here. And the thing I want you to get here in terms of what I've drawn out here, these aren't exact price movements and time frames. I never do that. That is never the aim of what I'm doing. And I try to spell that out for people so they don't misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm not saying we're going to go exactly here and go exactly down here on November 22nd. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying the major thing I'm trying to communicate within this chart is once we got down here, I expected a bounce. The bounce could end here based on price confluence. I was hypothesizing it could come all the way up here. And we could come down here in December or January. But I'm just trying to paint out to you the general direction and magnitude of price on the Bitcoin dominance chart because I ultimately feel that this pattern will play out. Why do I think this pattern will play out? Why do I think the bear flag within Bitcoin dominance will pan out? Why? Because I'm reading this chart like I would read an Ethereum chart or an XRP chart or a Cardano chart or an HBAR chart or a Harmony One chart. I'm literally just looking at the price data, and if there's a price pattern within the chart, those price patterns, again, exist for a reason. The reason price patterns exist is because historically, when they have played out in the past, if you study historical data, when the price patterns play out in the past, there are probabilities of going up or down. So you can discern when a pattern like this shows up, there's a 70% probability of going down and maybe a 30% probability of going up, right? And so based on that, we can formulate an educated guess in terms of what's going to happen. That's why it's important to point out price patterns. This is nothing emotional. This is nothing based on my biased opinion. My biased view of the market would be I'd love everything to go to $1 bazillion, but that's not what I'm going to come out here and put clickbaity shit on my YouTube channel to do. I'm going to read the charts. I'm going to tell you what I see. Look, this is a bear pennant. This is clearly a bear pennant, okay? We had a temporary fake out, and most likely we're going to move down. When that is, I don't know. Most likely it's going to take many, many months to play out. Let's get into the DXY. I'm going to pause for a second and then get into some additional charts. This is the dollar index. Now, one of the things I pointed out, if you appreciate the content, by the way, make sure to give me a follow if you're not already on Twitter at Crypto Bull God. Make sure to like the video and drop a comment here for any charts you'd like me to take a look at. I'd be happy to chart anything out that you want me to look at in crypto. Subscribe to the channel for notifications of when I go live and any TA videos I put out. So what is going on here? Nothing has changed over what I have communicated in the past. Again, nothing materially has changed over last week. We have this rising DXY. Someone was trying to tell me I was drawing a line of resistance. That's not the point of this. The point of this is an arrow. I never draw lines of resistance with arrows. This is showing you the direction. Here, maybe this would help. This is showing you the direction. The DXY is moving up, okay? But the RSI is moving down. There's negative divergence, meaning there's less strength within the price movements going up. Now, this is a leading indicator to tell us that it's more likely, not 100% certain. Nothing is 100% certain, but it's more likely that this is going to run out of steam, okay, at some point here. Where that is, it's anyone's educated guess, and then start correcting. The other thing I wanted to point out here is there's a descending triangle within the RSI. This is a bearish pattern. We can take this move and measure it to go down, for the RSI to go down, okay? So just like there are price patterns, okay, in the data that you can draw out, okay, in the price data, you can also draw out patterns in price indicators as well. So I'm showing not only is there negative divergence in the RSI on the DXY on the weekly, but there's also a descending triangle that's forming. So for a moment, I know, everybody wants to talk about what's going on in the world. This goes back to a tweet that I had put out a couple days ago, okay? Diet Sprite Zero, it's pretty damn good. I don't really drink soda, but Diet Sprite Zero, for whatever reason, is very good. I love lemon lime. Love lemon lime. Do you guys like lemon lime? Drop me a comment if you love shit that's citrusy. I'm a big fan. I tweeted something out the other day where I spoke to the fact that I think it was 2018 or 19. We were all fearing North Korea, right? This was the big fear. And then we were fearing World War III. And then we got to the beer virus, and we were fearing that. And now we're fearing Russia. And now we're fearing World War III again. And now we're fearing inflation. Again, if you want to pay attention to the headline, I'm not saying these things aren't things that you shouldn't be aware of and be knowledgeable of. But if you're going to make investment decisions based on this, you're doing what 99% of the people are doing. I want you to understand that. And if 99% of the people were correct, they would be prosperously wealthy and rich and live on islands, and they would not be working the 9 to 5, okay? What I'm attempting to do, as many people I respect who I follow on Twitter are doing, or I'm subscribed to on YouTube, like Alessio Rastani is doing, is he is attempting to read historical data, everything, human emotion, everything that's occurring in the world, everything is built into the charts, okay? We're literally just taking mathematical data and we're trying to extrapolate it, We're trying to extrapolate it moving forward in terms of building a hypothesis in terms of what's most likely, okay? That's what I'm doing here. That is, in my opinion, thinking outside the box and being on the cutting edge of things versus being in the 99%, okay? So I'm going to continue doing that and sharing that with you guys. I'm not saying that we shouldn't be concerned with all the inflation. I put out a podcast on real world inflation versus CPI. The CPI number is baked, okay? It's fudged. It's a bullshit number. It's a subjective figure. It's not 8%. Real world inflation is more like 20 or 22% in the United States, okay? So I'm not debating that with you. But in terms of what we could see most likely moving forward, that's what I'm using all this chart data for. Okay, so I hope that you appreciate that. Now, I'm going to get into a few other charts here, but before I do, I wanted to see if anybody had any questions. Yeah, Ron, Brendan, that's the one thing that you can't account for. You can't account for a black swan event. I agree with you. Nobody can account for a black swan event. But what I would say is, if you're not basing your investment strategy on the historical data that is presented in these charts, you're being ignorant of history as an investor. Everything, history, World War II, okay, World War II, Vietnam, the Cold War, all the shit that went on with Russia and the United States in the 80s, going off the Bretton Woods system. All these things are in the charts. Like all the things that have occurred in the world, 9/11, all these things are in the charts. Okay, we can use that chart data to discern what has happened in the past and kind of where we're at now and where we might most likely be going in the future. So while no one can predict black swan events, I just think it's ignorant not to use that historical information to make educated guesses in terms of what we can see moving forward. Anyway, I'm going to go off on a tangent on charts, reading charts. I think what bothers me is I've seen a few people recently, even on a YouTube channel or two, whose content I respect, kind of poo-poo charts and doing chart analytics and calling it a 50-50 shot at best. And it irritates me because it's ignorance. It's just ignorance. It's coming from people that don't know what they're talking about. I mean, it's coming from people who don't know how to read a chart. The only way they know how to read a chart is if it's being spoon-fed to them and they're reading something that's been tweeted out. And that's the only way they know how to read charts. So I give no credibility to their statements, but it's just irritating because they have a large platform, they have a large voice, they have 500,000 or 600,000 subscribers on YouTube, and so everybody's listening to this, and it's like nails on a chalkboard to me. It really bothers me. Thank you, Brendan. Appreciate it. Well, I don't know why you're saying November 22nd is about correct for the bottom of Bitcoin price, although I'd be curious why you feel that way, but I don't know why you feel November 22nd. That's a pretty specific date, so I'd be curious as to your thoughts on why November 22nd. I'm not a prognosticator, so I don't know if November 22nd makes sense, but feel free to share what you're thinking. I don't know. Maybe you know something I don't know. Hey, Holly. Hey, glad to see you here. I don't know why I just did that. Welcome in. So in terms of, great question, you know what? Let's have a conversation about it on the Bitcoin Crypto Happy Hour. So tune in. I'll actually add this to the agenda, the Bitcoin Crypto Happy Hour, in terms of where to learn TA or how to learn TA. So great question. Let's save it for later in the week on Wednesday or Thursday when we do the happy hour. Thank you for the question, Holly, though. It's a very good question. This is Chills, ticker symbol CHZ. This is one of the stronger performers. I've been tweeting about this more recently. I'm looking to personally scale into a position here. I'm looking to scale into a position here, and I'm kind of looking towards this golden zone of support. We're going to call it around 13 cents to 16 cents, anywhere between 16 to 13 cents. We'll take a look at Adam, Brian. Thank you. But right now you can see it's been on a tear. We're a little overbought. This stochastic RSI up here on the weekly reading is it's staying at 100. Now, we can remain overbought for an extended period of time, just like we can remain oversold for an extended period of time. The RSI is not overbought. The MACD has just crossed positive. There's no reason why we can't rise up to here and battle this area of resistance around like 30, I don't know, between 30 and 33 cents. Okay, you can see downward line of resistance here. There's no reason we can't go up there, but I would look for a pullback at some point if you're looking to get an entry here. Chiliz has been one of the best performers as of recent. So keep this, I would suggest keeping this on your radar. It's a gaming play, meaning sports. Sorry, not games as in playing games, but a sports play. Ticker symbol CHZ, Chiliz. Keep this on your radar. Raven. Okay, this is one I intended to cover last Sunday and missed it. It didn't have time to get to it, but we're going to cover it now. I've expanded the golden pocket zone to be between 2.5 cents to we're going to call it 4.2 cents. Okay, 4.3, 4.2 cents. So this is an extremely bearish candle here. We topped out exactly. Guys, this is where when someone poo-poos TA, you can go fuck yourself. We have price confluence right here. Okay? A wick right here. Look where we wicked. We literally wicked right at the line. Okay? TA is not 50-50. It's like anything else in life. Yes, sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't work out in the most likely direction of what you're anticipating. In this case, yeah, it worked out pretty much exactly like we would have anticipated. We faced this area of descending resistance here. We wicked up to it. We have a thick red body and a long wick up here. This is a clear sign of a trend reversal. As volatile and as small a market cap as this thing is, I wouldn't be surprised to wick all the way down to 2.5 cents, especially given how shaky the market is right now, okay? But again, grand picture of things, low, high, higher low, and now we'd want to create a higher high. So in my opinion, based on this view, if you're looking to scale into Raven, and we're actually in the golden zone right now, if you're looking to scale into Raven anywhere in here, and we're in there right now, based on your risk tolerance, okay? Based on your risk tolerance, that's going to dictate to you how much of the position, let's say you have $1,000 you want to put into Raven. It's going to dictate to you if you want to put 20% in now or 10% or 30% or half of it in, how aggressive you want to be. I mean, you got to determine that for yourself. But the general idea is as we move down and we continue to move down in this golden pocket, you want to get more aggressive with your buys. So you want to save a lot of your capital to be able to buy at lower price points, right? So for where me personally, and I had $1,000, I might scale like $200 in right now, right? I might scale $200. We get down here, I might scale another like, I don't know, $300 or $400 if we got down to like 3.2 cents. If we went under 3.2 cents and we approached 2.5, I put the rest of my capital in. I put the rest of the $500 as we started to scale down here. That's just me. I'm not saying that's right for you. But this is my golden zone here, and we're already in the golden zone. So keep an eye on ticker symbol RVN Raven, okay? Ethereum Classic. This is one that I've told you guys I'm going to get back into, all right? This thing is in a broadening wedge right now. Okay, and I'm targeting in a zone between $25.50, $25.55 and $20.50. Okay, so that's the area that I am targeting. I'm fully anticipating we're at least going to touch the upper band here, if not the bottom. But again, it's the same premise as Raven. If you're looking to get into Ethereum Classic, remain patient. It looks very likely because we've been overheated. Okay. Guys, we ran up from $15 all the way up to like $46. We did like a 3x, okay? We're overheated. So we're going to most likely pull back somewhere in this area. I would be looking to scale in, okay? This is on the weekly once again. So this is a great opportunity for a long-term hold if you can scale in at that area in there between 20, let's just call it 25 and $20. XMR. We haven't looked at this one, guys. This is Monero. Okay, this is one of the longer standing crypto projects. And by the way, Monero, I am going to put out a video on the OG coins. Monero is one of those long standing coins that actually, unlike XRP, unlike Zcash, unlike Dash, unlike Litecoin, XLM at Stellar is a little debatable. I think it touched its prior all-time high depending on what exchange you looked at. But unlike all those other coins, this one created a new all-time high relative to its 2017-18 all-time high. We hit a high here of, what was it, like 546? 519. Sorry, I don't know why I was thinking 546. I have so many numbers in my head. 519, right? So the first thing I want to see here is, again, consistent with other charts here. We hit a low of, let's mark this out here. You see this low here? This low here, we're going to call it $97. We don't want to entertain anywhere near $97. Now, what I could see as possible is we created a low here, a high here. Okay, we have a major area of resistance here around 170 to 188. We could come down all the way to 115. That's not unlikely. But what are we doing? We have two higher lows. Now, what do we want to do? We want to bounce off the area and begin to battle this area. We have two higher highs. So again, we still have bullish structure. There's nothing concerning here. Big thing. Excuse me, starting to lose my voice here. This is where I wish I could turn the mic over to you guys. You guys could chat with me because I'm starting to lose my voice. So consistent with other charts, if we looked at Quant, remember how Quant broke out above its descending resistance? We want to see the same thing here. We want to eventually see us get up and break this resistance. And then this high here, ultimately this wick, we want to really... To feel convicted, we want to break up into this 300 to 310 area to feel convicted that a true trend reversal is in store for XMR Monero. Guys, by the way, I only have 4 more charts that I am planning to cover, and then I'm turning the ball over to you to let me know what you'd like me to cover. This is Gala on the weekly. This is not good to see. I'm not happy to see this. This is my largest, I'm on record as saying this. I tweeted this out. This is my largest short-term swing play, which I'm also heavily considering maintaining a long position in. This is a gaming crypto project. This thing has broken major resistance around 4.7 cents to 5.1 cents. Not good to see. And if we, one of the things you can do to gain an appreciation for price support and price resistance, you can go on smaller time frames to try to see what you can discern in terms of other areas of price support. And as you can see right now, the only other area of support I see personally is right here. Okay, and that's at like 4.3 cents. Where the hell are we sitting right now? It's a little scary if you're in here right now, and this is where you got to decide for yourself if you want to have stop losses in place if you're in here. I don't have a stop loss. I don't. I took a swing, a shorter-term swing play in here. I'm going to ride out the volatility. This thing is not going to, anything can go to zero, but I don't believe this is going to go to zero. So I'm going to ride out the volatility for a shorter-term swing play to try to get up into this 11.6 to 19 cent area. I would say 10 to 19 cents, okay? And we'll kind of go from there, scale out a lot of my position, and then I'll see how much of it I want to hold for the long term. But you can see right now, and this is actually resistance. I mean, we're flirting. Guys, we had an all-time low here at 2.9 cents, okay? We're floating underneath all this resistance. We are flirting with the idea of either double bottoming or breaking below here and going below. That is not out of the question. This is not looking very, very promising right now, okay? One of the things I recognize, though, having evaluated so many of these charts is oftentimes, as scary as this chart looks, and as much as it, in my opinion, looking at this in a very unbiased manner, as much as it's not in my favor to work out bullishly in the mid to short term here, this does not look very bullish. I've also seen a lot of these charts kind of exercise a lot of volatility and then shoot back up. Okay, so I'm not overly concerned about this, but I will say, looking at this in an unbiased manner as a technician, this is not very bullish right now. This is not looking good. I do not like the way this chart looks right now, okay? But I'm comfortable with the position that I own in this for the shorter term swing play, that I'm not worried about exercising a stop loss or anything of that nature. Again, what I want you guys to understand is that when I speak to this stuff, and this gets into more of a theoretical conversation that I could save for the Bitcoin Crypto Happy Hour, but and it has to do with stop losses and exercising sound risk management. I'm not a day trader, right? So I have said this time and time again. The majority, when I say the majority, I mean more than 90% of my portfolio is a long-term hold. Okay, so I'm not trading that. That's literally when I sell it, it's going to be sold at short-term capital gains tax, 20%, right? The other 10% or less of what I sort of trade, whether it's like a week, I trade it for like a weekly trade or like a couple months or whatever the case is, that's taxed at ordinary tax rate, okay? Which, I mean, based on my income level, I mean, you're talking about taxing at like 40%, okay? So there's a high amount of taxes associated with that. So I don't day trade with a lot of funds. That's a lot of taxes to pay the government such that they ass rape you at the end of the year. So I'm not messing around with that. So when I talk about being comfortable with this chart not looking the sexiest right now, it's because I have such a small amount of my portfolio in this position right now. But Gala is not looking very favorable right now. We need to really get back above. Guys, what you want to look for on Gala, look at let's call it 5.1 cents. We need to get back up above 5.1 cents and then break this descending line of resistance and start breaking up. This is not looking very favorable. Ticker symbol SYN. Here's another one that's breaking down. Okay, now I'm not working magic here. You can see I can move the trend line. I was being more aggressive. You have a touch here, a touch here. So technically, we could still break all the way down to here at $1.10. And actually, I like the price confluence right around here. That's really interesting. Kind of like the price confluence here. Let me draw that as an area. Where did we close there? Close at 103. Yeah, so there is a little bit of price confluence there, but this one's also breaking down. There's definitely a lot of weakness being displayed in the market right now, which is not good to see as a bull. So, I mean, you know, what we could potentially see now that when I originally had this line drawn, and I'll show you why I had it drawn, the reason I had the line originally drawn like that is because we had a touch here, and a candle body here. Well, now that we're starting to fall below, I'm saying, okay, is there still a way without fudging the chart, okay, and still validly drawing a possible ascending triangle here? Is there a way to still do that while maintaining credibility within the chart, right? Drawing that chart pattern. Of course there is. You're just less aggressive with the trend line. You can draw it just like this, okay? Touch here, a touch here, no touch here, touch here. So we could fall all the way down here. Maybe we wick down to 110. I mean, that's, or excuse me, 103. So keep an eye on SYN. I do have a position in that. I got in around the 140 level, so I'm in a loss right now. But again, this is a shorter term swing play. I'm not worried about it. But keep an eye on it. This thing could come all the way maybe down to 103, which in my opinion, based on this chart, could potentially be a great buy opportunity in the shorter term here. This is another one that I'm watching that I indicated. You know, I've been just looking for different charts from what I've charted in the past. This is ticker symbol PORT port, or ticker symbol, excuse me, PORTO, Porto. You can find this on Binance US. We are in the golden zone here. Now, this is a weekly view because this is the weekly close, and that's what we look at. But I want to focus on a smaller time frame. You can see we're right in the golden zone here. I am going to take a position at some point. I'm going to rearrange my funds here. What I would do is I'd actually draw the golden zone all the way down here to about 470. So anywhere between 470, based on, I drew this on a different time frame here. Let's redraw this line. You can see we broke this trend line. That's invalid. This one is still valid. And actually, I would draw it just like that. So what I would personally be, I mean, this is like a stair-step function, right? Flat up, flat, nap. And we have a lot of consolidation in this area. Anywhere in this area, in my opinion, would be a good scaling opportunity. I'm going to look for anything down towards this trend line. I'm going to look for anything around closer to $5. It looks like we're at about 562, so I'd wait for about a 10 or 12% pullback until I would get in. I have not gotten into this yet. Keep an eye on this one. It's a smaller market cap. It does have some good market structure associated with it. It's teetering on a breakout. It's just there has to be a lot more strength within the market to really see this thing break out. Look at this green area of resistance. Now, excuse me, green area of support that we're in right now. What happens when we break out here? Well, look, there's just a wick here, okay? So theoretically, once we get some volume to come in here and we break out above approximately $6.83, once we break out above there, blue sky breakout. Blue sky breakout. I mean, you could see this thing rise to $20, $30, $40, $50 very quickly. I know it sounds crazy, but been here a long time and seen that shit happen. Maybe some of you have too. So keep an eye on this one. This is one I'm looking to enter. I'm just waiting for the price to come down another like 10, 12, 13, 14, 15%. Last one. This is one I just started charting today. Let's draw an area of resistance. There we go. This is ticker symbol FULX, flux, like the flux capacitor from Back to the Future. Again, I personally like the market structure here. Now I put this on a weekly, but I'm going to get off the weekly just because there's not a lot of price data. This is on the Binance exchange here. You can get this on Binance US. But again, the reason I like the market structure on this is because we have a rounding bottom and we have a clear semi-parabolic rise here that now has created market structure all in here. And we're facing this descending line of resistance. I like chart setups like this, and I'm considering taking a small position. Because for me personally, what I could see happening now that we're a little overbought, we're at least going to pull down most likely to this 83 cent area. But I would love if we pulled down closer to 65 cents. Anywhere between 83 and 65 cents, I would look to scale in for a move back up to battle this descending line and then to start challenging these other lines of resistance. Keep an eye on ticker symbol FULX. It's had some significant price movements up in the past several weeks, and it's one that I'm personally going to be watching to wait for a pullback towards 83 to 65 cents to enter a small position. So with that being said, this is all the charts I wanted to cover this week. So what charts do you guys have for me? This is the TA Q&A. What charts would you like me to chart out for you? I'd be happy to chart anything out for everyone newly tuning in. Thumbs up button, appreciate it. And let me know if you'd like me to chart anything out. I think Brian was getting at Adam. Why don't I do that while I'm waiting for any other questions to get in here? So Adam, yeah, so it's funny. This one, guys, we talked about this, and this was more of an ascending. You could draw this. I mean, technically, you could draw this out as a bear flag. I mean, you certainly could. Flagpole, pennant, and break down. But I mean, the reason I didn't even give that conversation is I found it so unlikely that was going to happen. So what you have here is an ascending triangle, and the technical breakout pattern that I had drawn with you guys in prior weeks, if you've been here, it's technically around $26, $27, okay? But the other thing I spoke to on Adam was that we would face major resistance between this area, right? Look what happened. We literally wicked perfectly here and almost again right there. Right between $17 and $21. We're going to face significant resistance based on prior price confluence between $17 and $21 for Adam. So keep an eye on that. Thank you for pointing that out. Holly, you love quant. You ask a lot of questions on quant. Are you heavily invested in quant? I'm just curious. I mean, this is an educated guess. Nothing new on quant. It's been a stronger performer, but I'm going to take a look at it with you because you're asking the question, so I'd be happy to take a look at it with you. No, guys, when I was doing the live stream, we were in here, right? We were in this area. What did I say I wanted to see? What I wanted to see is exactly what quant did. This has been one of the stronger performers. I love the chart setup. This is very bullish. If you're invested in quant, bravo. This to me looks like it's going to be one of the stronger performers moving forward. I don't have any doubts about that based on the way the chart's setting up. So we were in here. I said, okay, I want to get to this resistance and break above it, and then more than likely we'd backtest it and continue breaking up, and we'd have a low, and we'd have a high, and then we'd have a higher low. We'd come down here for like a higher low. That's exactly what we did. Look what happened. We broke above the descending resistance. Okay, the descending resistance that's been here since September of 2021. We back tested it right here with this wick, and ever since then, what are we doing? We're just consolidating. But again, we have a low, a high, and so far a higher low, right? Two higher lows here. Now what we want to do is we want to break up into this area here to get another higher high. So Holly, nothing has changed over what I have spoken to in the past pertaining to, quant. What we want to see is a push up towards the 147 to 210 area. I have 147, 165, 181, and 210 as my areas of resistance. Guys, anything else? These are all the charts that I had prepared for you. So are there any other updates on charts that you'd like to see? If not, I'm going to be chilling on my couch watching a little Sunday Night Football. I think Aaron Rodgers is playing. Who the hell is he playing? Are they playing the Bears or somebody? I think so. That's what I'm going to be doing. Um, hey, Glenn, welcome in. I haven't seen you before. Yeah, I said flux, not folks. I gave a chart update on that. I'm not sure really what you're saying. I said just like the flux capacitor from Back to the Future, so I'm not really sure what you're saying. Any other questions? By the way, Chris, I'm not ignoring you. I saw you spoke about GBDC. It's not, I don't know. I'm not going to chart out top was in May. I don't know. Unless you really want me to, I'll chart out GBTC, but I'm not really too keen on charting that out. I can. If you want me to, I'll chart it out for you, but I want to try to, I mean, it's still crypto related, but if you want me to, I'll let me know. You can respond right now. If you want me to chart it out, I'll chart it out for you right now, but didn't see a huge need to. Any other questions for anyone just tuning in? Do you guys have any TA questions for me? I mean, I've covered a lot of charts. And a lot of charts that we haven't looked at before. You know, I don't want to just cover this. I don't want to try and cover the same charts every week. I mean, I think the charts I want to hammer home on are the charts I want to hammer home on. Guys, thumbs up button. Appreciate it. The charts I want to hammer home on are because I want you to be very well informed and be very well versed on what you should be looking for on the most critical charts. Outside of the most critical charts that I'm covering, like I've said this in the past, I'm going to try to cover charts that I haven't covered in, every other live stream. Flux, Porto, Sin, Gala we've done, XMR, Monero, okay? Raven, okay? Just chills. Just trying to cover some new charts, okay? So just try to keep things interesting. Appreciate the engagement, everyone, by the way. Appreciate the engagement. What are my thoughts on likelihood of a November melt-up in price action? So, I guess this is a TA. I mean, this isn't really a TA question. I try to keep this live stream to TA. This is more of a Bitcoin crypto happy hour question. So, Daniel, by the way, are you a subscriber, Daniel? You subscribe to the channel? I don't recognize your name. Thank you for tuning in. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the thumbs up button well, you've already dropped the comment. But notifications for when I go live. So I do a Bitcoin crypto happy hour. That's a little bit more free flowing in terms of talking about whatever. But I'll answer the question. So you're asking me if I see a potential melt up in November. I'm not one who likes to pick specific dates and months and say we're going to go up or down. So that's the first thing I want to say. So to answer your question directly, I don't fucking know, and nobody does either. What I will say is that I do think, looking at the charts, that there is a very, let me put it to you this way. I feel confident, again, keep track of the words that I'm using here. Everyone new tuning in, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Make sure to follow the word choices I'm using here. I don't know with certainty, but I'm telling you I feel confident that there is a reasonable likelihood or probability that the fourth quarter, so that would be October, November, and December, will overall, when you look back on that quarter, be bullish for crypto. So I do see a strong potential based on what the information I've been sharing with you for the fourth quarter of this year to be very favorable for the cryptocurrency market. We'll have to see how that pans out. But I don't know about November specifically. I can't tell you that. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate you being subscribed. Appreciate your viewership. For everyone new tuning in, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Drop me any TA questions and subscribe for notifications on when I go live. I've been going live twice a week. Cheers, brother. Chris, I'm not sure what you're saying here. It shows the top was in May, not in no. Oh, you're saying for the GBDC chart. Yeah, I mean, the GBTC chart looks more clean. All right. You clearly want me to look at the GBTC chart, right? I mean, you've brought it up enough times now, so we're going to look at the GBTC chart. I know I have it in here somewhere. God, I haven't looked at this chart in years. Jesus Christ, this chart is ugly as shit. Whoa, this is an ugly chart. Let's get off of this. Okay, so you're saying the top was in... Well, Chris, the top was in February. What are you talking about? It wasn't in May. The top was not in May. This is GBDC. Okay? I'm looking right at it. This is the top right here. Top to me looks like it was February. See that right there? So I'm not sure what you're talking about. But yeah, this thing has fallen substantially. We're up at $60 and now we're down at 12. Yeah, so we topped in February, brother, not May. You're looking at the weekly Bollinger Band, and you're quite bearish on Bitcoin at the moment. All right, I'll take a look at the Bollinger Band with you. I haven't taken a look at that in a long time. Take a look at the Bollinger Band. Bollinger Band. For everybody new tuning in, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and drop me a comment. Do you like when I talk softly like this more than talking very loud? I can talk like this more often. Okay, so let's take a look at the Bollinger Bands. That's all right. Okay, let's see. Oh shit! Look at the market. It's green. I'm so excited. Yeah, right. So what are you talking about with the Bollinger Bands? What are you saying? I'm sorry, Glenn. I'm quite bearish on Bitcoin at the moment. Yeah, I really don't know what you want me to tell you about the Bollinger Bands. I mean, the 20 is about to cross below the 200, which isn't great, but I mean, looks like that's never happened before. It's not a great thing. That's not good. Yeah, it looks like the 20 moving average has never crossed below the 50. So that's, actually that raises a good point for everyone new tuning in. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment here, subscribe to the channel. It really does help for everybody new tuning in. If you can hit the thumbs up button, it helps with the YouTube algorithm to get this stuff out to more people. Something I want to touch on, I don't really see what you're so bearish on here, what you're looking at, but what this really does raise a good point. Something I want to quick touch on, and that is the evolution of price data within Bitcoin. What we've seen this market cycle is we've seen Bitcoin touch look at the prior all-time high. The prior all-time high is right around here. And before we hit that level, it had never been done before, and everyone said it wouldn't happen, okay? The reality is, I really want you to intuitively think about this for a moment, okay? And tell me if this doesn't make sense, just exercising common sense. The more time that goes on, and the more this asset class evolves, we're not going to be able, first off, we're not going to be able to stick to a 4-year cycle. I think the whole 4-year cycle thing is fucking garbaggio. Fucking garbaggio. Yes, you can go back in time and you can draw parallels within 4-year bands in terms of price appreciation around the halvings and corrections. I agree. It's not going to be like that forever. It's not. Case in point, we corrected down to our prior all-time high, which we've never done before. This is just an asset class emerging, okay? We're not going to see Bitcoin 10, 30, 40, 50x all the time, okay? The asset has gotten a lot larger. The players in the market have changed. It's not just small retail investors. You have a lot of large players in the game now, and that also changes things. A lot of bots and algorithms, that changes things. So for anyone to not understand the fact that we're going to have to evolve our investment strategy and evolve our line of thinking and line of sight into the chart data when examining the past and recognizing this was many, many years ago and the market was much, much different, you're being ignorant if you don't recognize that. And I'm not name calling here. I'm just being honest with you. You're being ignorant of the fact that the asset class is emerging, and we must put on a different set of glasses when examining the data. to be best prepared for what to anticipate moving forward. Hopefully that makes sense. And that's why I say, like, I'm going to throw this out. Maybe we can talk about this on the Bitcoin Crypto Happy Hour. But that's why when everybody is so gung-ho on the idea that Bitcoin isn't going to see an all-new all-time high till like 2025, can I at least throw out the idea to you? Okay? Because, again, this has never happened before, but let me throw it out to you. What if Bitcoin really did start to make a move up and, you know, we got up to, I don't know, up to like, well, what the hell? What I have here is a median point. Why don't we just use this point? So, Jesus Christ, TradingView, I fucking hate you sometimes. So let's say we got up to $180,000 by like July of next year, okay? $180,000. Why can't Bitcoin be in an environment to correct and have a massive correction going into the halving? So the halving is projected at early 2025, I think. It might be late 2024. I think it's early 2025, though. Well, gee, why can't we be in an environment where Bitcoin is undergoing a massive bear market and the rest of the economy is in a massive bear market during the halving? Well, what then? You know, there is a first for everything. It's not like every time we get to the halving, we're going to see a massive pump in price. I think it's ridiculous if you think that. Now, the fundamentals behind the halving and why it's so important and a deflationary project like Bitcoin. I'm not here to argue with you about the fundamentals. It's why I got into the space. I love Bitcoin and I love cryptocurrency projects, the ones I'm invested in. I love the space in total. I'm just talking about the fact that the chart's going to evolve. So it would make sense that at some point during a halving, we could be in a massive bear market. And then what then with the halving? Maybe it's like a null event and nothing really happens with the price. That's entirely possible. But no one seems to grasp that concept right now. So very interesting. Okay, yeah, we talked about the DXY earlier. I cover that all the time. Bring on the utility-driven market. Brother, it's going to be a long time until we get to a point where this market is as immature as it is right now. I mean, when you have Doge and Shiba Inu and all that bullshit up in the top like 15, it's going to be a long time. I mean, you know, like I said, I think H-bar, it doesn't make any sense for H-bar not to get into the top 10 at some point. It's going to take some time. Yeah, Glenn, I agree with you. Preserve some capital, have it on the sidelines. You know, that's something I'm guilty of not having enough. Getting two in the market at a time where I thought it was most opportune, and then not having as much capital on the sidelines to get in when things went lower. So I agree with you. Having capital on the sidelines is very important, very important. So I agree with you. Thank you, Glenn, for sharing that. So it doesn't look like there's any other charts here. I don't see anything. So with that being said, we've been here for an hour, so I think I'm going to let you guys go. Make sure to subscribe for notifications. I will be going live this week, as always, for the Bitcoin Crypto Happy Hour on either Wednesday or Thursday, just time permitting, whatever works out best in my schedule. So with that being said, thank you everyone for the support. Appreciate you tuning in. Until next time, spread awareness and, you know what I'm going to say, carry the education.